Welcome.
Thank you to young Maddie doing a great task for us today. Just to let competitors know.
Well, round one didn't fail to surprise and thrill us with excitement, drama, and some unpredictable results. So we're really looking forward to this weekend as the momentum grows in this exciting championship. This weekend we're at Levels International Motor Raceway for round 2 of the New Zealand Premier National Championship of Motorcycle Racing. Levels is about 10 kilometres northwest of Timaru in the South Island of New Zealand. Timaru is midway between Christchurch and Dunedin. The official name of this circuit is the Timaru International Motor Raceway, but it is often referred to as Levels as that was its previous name. The original circuit was built by the South Canterbury Car Club and opened in 1967, and at that stage it was just 1.6 kilometres. In 1988 it was extended to 2.4 kilometres and developed to FIA Category 3 standards, which is how it is today. We come here each year for round 2 of this NZSBK series, as it fits nicely as a follow-up to round 1 last weekend. So, taking a look at the track, and we start on the front straight. That is the Timaru Metal Recyclers Straight. Immediately after the start we hit turn 1, a right turn, and then turn 2 almost straight after. That leads us a very short straight onto the turn 3 sweeper called Castrol Curve. That sweeper leads us onto the massive Alpine Energy back straight. The bikes will be reaching 275 kilometres per hour before they hit the John Jones Steel corner. It's a great corner, turn 4. It's a great corner for overtaking, and guys will often head down the inside to do a late braking pass, and as long as they can hold it together and not run wide, then they'll often make a pass stick and take them down that short straight to turn 5 from the Cusset Curve, where we lead round to the left through turn 6, another sweeper, a very slight bend to the right at turn 7, and then into the Carter's Valuation hairpin, turn 8. It's right down to maybe first or second gear, depending on the rider and the bike. Very sharp right hand turn, and that leads us into the North End Tow Bay, turn 9, where we sweep around to the left and then through some S's at turn 10, and that takes us back onto the front straight. And there we have it, a lap of Levels Raceway, 2.4 kilometres.
All right, a massive big welcome to everyone here at round 2 of the New Zealand Superbike Championships. We are in beautiful sunny South Canterbury, about 10 kilometres north of the city of Timaru at Levels International Raceway. It's a pleasure to be calling the action here. We're about to get underway with our third and final round of racing. One race for each of our championship classes. We're going to kick it off with the big one, the 15-lap Superbike race. It's going to be brilliant. Thank you to Trust Araki and Fabtech Engineering bringing us our local sponsorship for this weekend. And this track, 2.4 kilometres of absolute rider's bliss. It was built back in about 1967, and in the mid-80s they extended it to make it the international track we have now. It's a phenomenal track. Mostly left-handers, goes in a anti-clockwise direction. And all the riders love this place. There's a mixture of high-speed corners, there's tight stuff, there's a long back straight, and it should be some frantic pace. So thank you for joining us. We'll keep you up to date when we get the action underway. But coming up first, a 15-lap Superbike race and rocking through the program here at round 2 of the New Zealand Superbike Championships, NZSBK.
All right, brought to us by our great sponsors, Pirelli, Power is Nothing Without Control, Aon Insurance, SkysportNext, along with Trust Aoraki, reinvesting in the community, and thanks to FabTech Engineering, a couple of moto nuts that love our sport, so thanks guys, really appreciate your work. Trust Aoraki, proud to be supporting round 2 of the New Zealand Superbike Road Racing Championships. Excellence, participation and local sporting locals, that's what it's all about. Philosophies of Trust Aoraki, very supportive of events and bringing people and economic benefits into the community. The management and board at Trust Aoraki like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the organisers, competitors, volunteers, supporters of the sport and the local community for the many hours of commitment. Contributing to Trust Aoraki hotel venues where local grants are made include Timaru and the Old Bank Cafe and Bar, and also up there in Tumuka we have the Crown Hotel and Empire Hotel. Their base is at Trust Aoraki here in Timaru. Local money going into local sport. We just love that. Thanks to Ashley Communications, official communications provider for our NZSBK round. Your hosts are the South Canterbury Motorcycle Club, one of New Zealand's proactive clubs, in fact one of New Zealand's more across the field clubs, because they do cross countries and the odd enduro, they do motocross, they do supercross, they do beach racing and they do road racing, so they're right across the board, whether they be on tar seal or on the dirt, they cover it all. And one of their great events is their beach race down on Caroline Bay. It's a different kind of a beach race, it's not so much the Burt Munro kind of beach race that we know as the barrel racing, point to point racing. It actually is a motocross in the sand, and it's a huge thanks to the Timaru District Council for getting behind that event. It really does raise the profile, the media there every year, the public come down for a free watch as well, and of course once the tide's done a full movement in and out, well the signs of the motocross track are completely vanished. So just some of the cool events done here in South Canterbury. Shout out to Anne and Adele for their amazing secretaryship and stewardship of this club, and to our great team behind the scenes here. Shout out to Andrew and the president and the rest of the committee doing a great job. We love them. And of course with Mr Grant Rambridge, our road race commissioner, is life member of the club as well, doing a lot of work as the road race coordinator within the club as well. Also to fellow life member Johnny Hepburn. Johnny, of course, a sponsor with his business Timaru Metal Recyclers. Disappointing for Johnny that he's had a operation just late last year and will miss the opportunity to be driving here in the Thunder Down Under event coming up here at Levels on the 30th and 31st of January. But Johnny, thank you for your continued support and great to have you with us. Superbikes, we start off with the creme de la creme and we are ready to go racing. Thank you, just from our timing team. A reminder, folks, there's a number of different ways you can follow racing. If you're hooked on NZSBK, you can find out more details at Motorcycling New Zealand, mnz.co.nz. You can also go to the NZSBK Facebook page. You can go to mxt.co.nz and get a link, and you can actually have the results in the palm of your hand. And you can also, from the MNZ page, get the YouTube link to go to Sky Sport Next and follow racing. Well, and of course, the best thing you do is that all culminates on watching Sky Sport 5, Motorsport Channel Extraordinaire. Great this week to have our coverage. It was delayed 24 hours and came out on Thursday. Thanks to Sky Sport for what you did. And I love the fact that we had some Sky Speed extras with some of the replays of some of the previous shows they've done, and a nice focus on motorcycles too, and thoroughly enjoyed a repeat showing of the great story between father and son, Dwayne and Seth Devereaux, out of Little Tapanui up there in Western Otago, and a cool story to explain about their love of motorcycling in a very very different way. One for the new and one for the old. You want to check it out. And loving the fact that we've got a real focus on motorcycle. What about the fact, of course, that we had the pre-Christmas show, we had both Avalon and Courtney, our two women superstars. One from the road, Avalon Biddle, and one from the track with Courtney Duncan, ready to go racing up with Brad Superbikes. We're about to get underway.
All right, Damon Rees on pole on the number 92 machine. Al Hoogie, our defending champion. He is right there next to him as well, and he gets a good start. Jake Lewis as well on the front row. He's on the 29 machine, and he finds himself in about third place. Mitchell Rees arguing with them there. So there we go with the update around into turn number 3. Beautiful double apex left-hander. We go down the back straight for the first time, and it's Damon Rees. Alistair Hugenbosen right there in second place, going to pull up alongside him. So we've got battling for the lead. We've got battling for the podium positions already. This big 15-lap Superbike race, it's going to be all on. Damon Rees still leads Al Hoogie. Mitch Rees now up into third place ahead of Jake Lewis as they scream out of turn 4, turn 5 and into turn 6. A brilliant decreasing radius left-hander known as the McKissick curve, the coolest corner in New Zealand motor racing. They flick it right and on the run into the hairpin. This is going to be frantic. Timaru Metal Recyclers Superbike race, the 15-lap feature for the weekend, the third and final race these guys get, and it's all on. Fireworks expected here as the track temperature starts to get nearly on 50 degrees, so very, very hot, and the pace is going to be just as hot. We've got this one going through the bus stop at the moment, taking off lap number 1. We've got 14 to go, and it's been a dominant performance so far from Damon Rees. He's won 2 from 2, and Al Hoogie desperate to try and get some championship points. He's our defending champion, but way down in 4th place in the points, so it's damage control time in the championship for Alistair Hugenbosen on the Blue Crew Yamaha there, the number 1 on the bike, and certainly getting himself in the mix here down the back straight, going to break hard into turn 4, the John Jones steel left-hander. I think we've got a change for the lead. Alistair Hugenbosen gets it done there, so this is a bit of a statement early on in the race. 1.5 laps into this one, and Al Hoogie now leads.
All right, Damon Rees, Alistair Hugenbosen, Mitch Rees over your hot shots as Brad has updated. Slight change at the front. We'll get an update as they come back towards us here. But more importantly for Mitch Rees, that consistency, something he's not had in the past, and he'll be super pleased to be doing that now. He's gone 2, 2, 3, 4, 2 in his order of performances. More importantly, no worse than 4th and right up there in top placings in our racing at the moment. Catch it, folks. This is Sky Sport Next coming at you loud and proud here from beautiful Levels International Raceway near Timaru on a super Sunday afternoon as the sun shines. Forecasted high of 26, 27 degrees coming here this afternoon. It's hot, it's exciting, it's motorcycle road racing, and Brad, we've got to change. The MR man is holding it.
Yeah, he's out in front of the 103.9 that time around, so the only man in the 103s. We've got a lap record at just on a 102.5, so we're a little way off that at the moment. The track is very hot, so probably not lap record time to temperature, but this one here is going to be brilliant as Damon Rees has a little look up the inside, backs it into turn number 4, and we've got them side by side, heading around the back and northern end of the circuit, and it's now Damon Rees back in the lead of this one. So frantic pace. These guys are all on at the moment. We've got Mitchell Rees still in 3rd place. Scotty Moyer, new tyres this year for Scotty, and he's got himself in the mix, and he's been begging for a hot race so far to get those tyres to work for him. So he'll be on here. Jake Lewis, Daniel Medham, Sloane Frost, and Jaden Hassan rounding out our top 8 runners at the moment. But this is going to be brilliant. We've got 12.5 laps left in this one here, and it's absolutely on at the front. There's about 5 of them in contention for the race win. They've slowly drifted off into the distance, but these guys absolutely fine. Let's have a look at lap times. We're going having a look. The fastest man on track is actually Mitchell Rees in 3rd place, so he's got himself right in the tussle here. He's half a second off the race lead. There's only 0.2 in the race between 1 and 2. All in the 103s now, so everyone getting into some good race pace at the moment as we see them down the back straight. It's Damon Rees, Al Hoogie, Mitchell Rees and Scotty Moyer, the top 4 there with Jake Lewis. Just starting to lose touch with our top guys. Al Hoogie not quite close enough there, so this one here, frantic pace already in this Timaru Metal Recyclers Superbike feature.
All right, of course, some of our former champions like Alistair Hugenbosen from 2020, our 2019 champion in there, from Dan Medham, 2 times champion before in Sloane Frost, and of course 2015 champion in Jaden Hassan. Just 4 of our championship and are in the top 8. So in our first 8 we've got 4 either reigning or former champions in Superbikes, but there's 4 new guys in there as well, and the likes of Mitchell and Damon Rees, these young guns making it happen in New Zealand Superbike road racing on fire in the Timaru Metal Recyclers race number 3 of this weekend. The final encounter, the big boys have come to town and shown us their class, and Damon opening up that gap, Brad. He's got a far better gap on it. He's loving this and going for the glory.
Yeah, he was a tenth quicker than the guys in front of him last time around, so Damon Reed's trying to put a little bit of a squeeze on, but we're only talking tenths of a second here. It's brilliant to have Demon Damo out there with us. He was not going to enter the series. He's got a British Superbike campaign on the cards this year, but with the UK going back into lockdown, he thought, right, I need some bike time. I'm going to do round 1 and 2 of the championship, and now with the new update, British Superbike Championships is going to be delayed a month provisionally at the moment. Could be a chance he could do the whole entire series, so definitely the right call to be made, and showing his class at the moment. He's won 2 from 2 and pole position so far this weekend, and looking set to carry on his dominant performance in this New Zealand Superbike Championship. He leads the championship by 7.5 points. Behind him, his big brother Mitch on the number 62 machine, so just 7.5 points in this championship, but it's the 62 of Mitchell Reeves with the work to do. He's third in the race and desperate to try and get as many championship points as he can. And we go through the bus stop again, so we have done 5 laps. We've got 10 laps to go. Damon Reeves goes quicker than anyone with a 1:03.658 that lap around, so now gets that gap out to over half a second, which will be quite telling. And these guys are behind do not want to let Damon Reeves run away with this one. So it's all on here. We've got 10 laps to go, but brilliant stuff from all our top 4. There's 4 of them still in line to win this race, and we've got anything can happen.
All right, it's Scott Moyer, the new kid on the block, that's joined the lineup as he had a podium way back in Moto number 1 at Ruapuna last weekend, but he's been struggling since then, but he's starting to come on form, and the heat for the change of tyres on this hot track will do him even better, so I'm sure you're going to see an improvement from the Suzuki man out of Taupo on that Carly Vandermeer builders. A shout out to his other team, of course, Diamond Design and Nevin and the crew, your commercial design and rebuild specialists out of the capital city, and great to have other sponsors like Highway Tyres and behind him as well. So cool crew that are having a whole lot of fun when they travel the race scene into this all-round good guy, the great Scott Moyer. Real class in there, Brad, because he is staying on the tail of those boys. The Pirellis dominate the lineup, but we'd love to see the other time makes us represented, and Scotty doing a much better race this time.
Yeah, phenomenal job actually, Scotty Moyer, right in the mix here. So there's 4 of them, and they are pretty hotly contested at the moment. A 1:03.652 that lap around from Damon Reeves, so that's slightly quicker than the guys in front of him. Alistair Hugenbos and Mitch Reeves, they were 1:03.8 last time around, so keep an eye on this one here as Damon Reeves has got that gap out to 6.68, so 6/10 of a second. We've got Scotty Moyer still right in the hunt as well. Jake Lewis there in 5th place, he's about 4.4 seconds back, so slightly losing touch with those front 4 at the moment, but doing a good job. He is 3rd in the championship and just 17 points off the lead, so he'll be desperate to try and get as many points as he can before we head to the North Island stint. Daniel Madden, former Superbike champion, in 6th place ahead of another former Superbike champion, Sloane Frost, in 7th. That's the update we can give you. There's no change to the top 4 at the moment. It's still the number 92 from Whakatane, Team Reeves Racing's Damon Reeves, ahead of the man from Christchurch on the Blue Crew Yamaha, the number 1 defending New Zealand Superbike champion for 2020, Al Hugenbosen. He's in 2nd place, and Mitchell Reeves, the number 62, the 2nd of the Team Reeves Racing, and the big brother, desperate to try and get himself as many points as he can, with Scotty Moyer, number 2 from Taupo, on the Pro Moto machine. It's brilliant stuff. New Zealand Superbike Racing, they're flying. They're in the 1:03s. It's a beautiful, hot day here in Timaru, and to be in the 1:03s, all 4 of those top guys in the 1:03s, absolutely flying. Keep an eye on this one here. We've got 8 laps to go, and frantic pace at the front with the top 4 really stretching their legs, running away with this one here. Jake Lewis still there in 5th place, so he's a lonely old ride for 5th, so good update from Jake. He's on the 2nd of the Team Blue Crew Yamahas, and we've got Daniel Middham, Sloane Frost and Jaden Hassan, the battle of the former champions, 6th, 7th and 8th. That's the update we've got here at the moment, and we're flying through this one here. The Timaru Metal Recyclers Superbike Race 3, the feature for the weekend, and this is absolutely brilliant pace from these guys at the front. And who's going to make a move early? We've got still 7 laps to go.
Well, a shout out for Team Barrack Sports Bar from Wanganui, and unfortunately Richie Dibbon down with a crash last weekend. He's broken 3 ribs, too much pain to try and get through for this weekend, so he's taken a break. And thanks indeed to the Total Span Barrack Sport Bar and team out of Wanganui that they've given the ride to Dennis Charlotte, former champion. So Dennis, one to be added into those list of former winners as far as Superbike racing is concerned. So with no previous introduction at all, it all only happened effectively on Saturday morning because Richie had tried, he really had tried, he knew he had some pain, and to try and get him on the bike, he just wasn't going to do it justice. So taking a break to heal up in time to have him back at those North Island rounds. Last year's 600 champion, a disappointing non-show here for levels, but I tell you what, that man is going to be a champion of the future. Put your money on it. We've seen it with Motard Racing, we've seen it with F3 Racing, and we saw it with 600s last year. The dominant rider now stepping up to Superbikes. But Brad, this is all on at the moment. The North Island boys showing it up over the South Island Yamaha crew, but certainly it's Al Hugi. He's proved it. He can get into the front. He's had drop back now, but it's all on at the moment. Damon Rees, Alistair Hugenboozer, Mitchell Rees and Scott Moyer, the ride of coming from definitely Scott Moyer to be keeping up with those guys that he was not doing earlier, Brad.
Yeah, absolutely. He was just a bit quicker than every one of those ones in front of him last lap around, so we'll look out for Scotty Moyer. Still well in touch of this one here. He's only 1.8 seconds off the race lead. So definitely, if he can get on the back of Mitchell Rees, they can get quicker and quicker and get right into this one here. We've got 6 laps remaining in this one here, the third and final race for our Superbikes this weekend. And we've already had 9 laps go by, and it feels like just the blink of an eye. So look out for this one here as we get down to the business end. We're in the final third of this race, and absolutely frantic at the moment. We've got a brilliant update from our Team Rees Racing 1 and 3 at the moment, and Blue Crew Yamaha 2 and a 5. We've got Scotty Moyer there in 4th place, Daniel Medham, Sloane Frost, Jaden Hassan, that's our top 8. David Hall, we've got Dennis Charlotte, Dave Sharp, and then Johnny Lewis rounding out our top 12. That's the update there as they go through the bus stop. Take off yet another lap here at Levels International Raceway, the beautiful 2.4 kilometre circuit into turn 1 and 2 our race leaders go. It's a phenomenal section there, and then the beautiful double apex left hand at the Castrol curve. There's about 4 or 5 different lines you can get out of there, but it's very important to get good drive out of there. Down the back straight they scream with 5 laps to go. Still anyone's at this one here as we got a dead even lap time that round, a 103.622. So exactly the same lap times for Damon Rees and Al Hugi, and that's the fastest laps of the race. So these guys with 5 laps to go starting to put the hammer down.
And in fact, even for the top 9, there is only 17 seconds from first back to 9th place. So just in your picture, you get to see our top front runners. Don't worry, the others aren't far behind, and us trying to make some moves and trying some decisive. Remembering this point's all the way back there to 15th place overall. So you want to get that 1 point. It makes all the difference indeed. We score a 25, 20, 16, 13 is our method for scoring. So getting the win gives you a big 5-point buffer. When you're second over third, you've got a 4-point buffer. That's why the wins are crucial. And that's why Demon Damo has got the lead on the points by 7.5 because of the fact that even though he's had 1 DNF in there, he's been doing most of his other races as wins. And the half point, by the way, comes about because one race was prematurely stopped. We had more than 2/3 of it run, so we scored a half point on it. That's another whole story in itself. But there we go. That's why you'll hear half points being mentioned. And our point scoring system, half of 25 is 12.5. So when you lead on a half race, you get 12.5 points. And I tell you what, though, Damon Rees might have made that move earlier on, and he's gone for the glory. But Al Hugi trying to track him down there at this stage. And I just get the idea that maybe Mitch and Scotty just dropping off their fraction as well, Brad. And that buffer has actually gone out to 2.3 from 1.8 back from first to fourth, which is to Damon back to Scott, is now out to 2.3. Look out. It's Damon realising that Al Hugi is hot and pushing him all the way. 0.293, we're talking about less than 1/3 of 1 second, nothing in it.
Oh, absolutely nothing in it. So Al Hugi's put a big squeeze on in the last couple of laps, starting to build up a little bit of pressure as they get out of the left-hander and on the way into the bus stop. It's a brilliant part of the track for these Superbikes. They've got to flick it right, left, and right again, and then you go left and head onto the front straight. You go down there and flicking out these lap times here, 103s for the pair of them, and Damon Rees slightly quicker, so gets that gap out to 0.3, so 10th quicker from Damon Rees, but nothing in it. Just 0.3 in this race lead. Mitchell Rees is still keeping touch. He's 1.9 seconds off that, but Scotty Moyer a little bit slower than those three.
Well, in fact, the buffer from first to fourth has gone out to 3.9 seconds, so certainly a significant gap on that one. But man, it's all on. Damon knows he's being pushed by Al, and Mitch is just again trying to be consistent. That's what his big wins and big learnings is to do out of this year, because he's been a winner. We've seen that in the past, but he's also been a loser by crashing out. He has not crashed out. He's gone 2-2-3-4-2 in his excellence in the 5 races up to this. This is the 6th race, and we're right on the halfway mark. Remembering 3 at each of the rounds. We've had 2 rounds gone, and we've got another 2 rounds to go. They'll be rocking Hampton Downs near Auckland on the first weekend of March, and 1 week later to Taupo, to the Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park. So it gives you an opportunity to see the North Islanders have come down, had a holiday with these 2 events bang bang a week apart, and then the South Islanders come north and do all of that repeat early in March. It gives all these guys an opportunity to recharge, refuel, and get it right again if they've got niggling injuries or mechanical hiccups. They've got another 6 weeks to get themselves ready, and let's go racing in the North Island for the final 2 rounds of the 2021 NZSBK. This is Sky Sport Next, coming to you live, loud and proud here from beautiful Timaru, and we've got it all on. These 2, nobody's giving up here, Brad.
Absolutely, white flag out, 1 lap to go. Demon Damo Rees, but look at Al Hoogie. He's the closest he's been in a long time down that back straight. He's going to pull up alongside, and we're on the final lap of the Superbike feature here, and Al Hoogie's going to scream past and go into the lead. He's breaking hard. The back wheel's dancing around as they go round turn number 4, but Al Hoogie's gone in a bit deep, and Damon Rees is back on the inside. So here we go with this one here into McKissick Curve for the final time. It's Team Rees Racing's David Rees on the 92. Al Hoogie on the Blue Crew Yamaha's tucked in behind him, but there's nothing in it at the moment. It's going to have to be a run to the hairpin if Al Hoogie's going to have a chance at this one. He's not quite close enough. That Team Rees Honda is brilliant through there. Can Al get the drive out of the hairpin? He's got right on the back wheel, but it's going to take a desperate move from here. Damon Rees, Al Hoogie, they're going to be side by side as they go into the bus stop, but Damon Rees takes the inside line. I think it's going to be Damon Rees. The 92 is going to take the checkered flag. We're going to win for Team Rees Racing. A perfect weekend for Damo. 3 from 3. Al Hoogie showed him everything through the kitchen sink and some at that one there, but Al Hoogie's going to have to settle for 2nd place. So brilliant stuff from Damon Rees. Al Hoogie is in a little bit hot down the back straight, braking hard for turn 4 and couldn't quite get it back online. Phenomenal racing from those 2 out there, and lapping in the 104s late in that race. Absolutely flying. Mitchell Rees carries on his brilliant podium form. He'll get yet another 3rd place and carry on his championship hunt, but losing a few more points to his little brother, so he'll hold on to 2nd in the championship. We go back to Scotty Moyer in 4th place. Good weekend from Scotty. He'll be pretty happy with that. Then you look at Jake Lewis in 5th place ahead of Daniel Medham, Sloane Frost, Jaden Hassan, David Hall, and Dennis Charlotte running out our top 10 with Dave Sharp there in 11th with our Superbike action here. Timaru.
Oh, wow. Listen to the applause down here. We're on the dummy grid. Look at the padding and the thanks going on. What a run, what a run. Al Hoogie proving he can be a match. He came back, he just overshot it slightly at John Jones Steele, and he had Demon Damo go back and underneath him and slide his way in through McKissick at the advantage. You notice, in fact, how hot he was going, that he slightly overdid the hairpin for the final time. He went out about 2 bike lengths wide, and that nearly gave Al an opportunity to come back. Those 2 so evenly paced. They've absolutely pumped it. Look at the sweat that's coming off these riders as they come back here into the dummy grid at the moment. Man, oh man, they have just given everything out there. And Mitch Rees keeps up his consistency. It might be little Bro that's getting the upper hand with 3 out of 3 over the weekend, but I tell you what, Mitch, super consistent with his racing, and he's lined up an incredible motor. Here's our sponsor to join us, and a quick opportunity to catch up here with Johnny. First of all, Johnny, Superbike Racing, you're the sponsor of it. Is it everything you wanted it to be?
Mate, that's fantastic, wasn't it? Come here and see 2 of the boys that I've known since they were born go and put on a show like that. And who's he coming that last lap? But that's proper Superbike racing. It's good to see. And hey, look at this weather after this morning. Who would have thought this, eh?
All right, hey, long-time supporter of racing here in South Canterbury. Must be proud of your club, your life, man. What an outstanding job they still do to organise top-class racing.
Absolutely. I'm probably have nothing to do with the day-to-day running of the South Canterbury club now, but there's a lot of guys like Grant Ramage, etc. been here a hell of a long time and do a hell of a lot of good things and put on a fantastic meeting. So, yeah, good to see. Congratulations to all these boys. Good racing this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny. There he is, sponsor extraordinaire, Mr. John Hepburn from Timaru Metal Recyclers. Quick opportunity to catch up with him. So what have we gone? 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Have I got it all right there, Mitch? Is that it, mate? Consistent. You've been there every time.
Yeah, there and close enough. So, hey, still that the first place is a little elusive. I was a little bit off them at the end there, but hey, really happy with that ride. I felt like I rode really well. I was consistent. So, yeah, no, really stoked.
Hey, we watched that sweat just pour off your face as you came in, that instant relief, and at the end of it, it's a physical game as well as a mental game.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Like, as soon as you start getting tired, your brain's the first thing to go, and I could definitely was sort of fading there, and I was like, no, the boys are just there, just try and pace them. So I didn't know who was behind me, and it was like the gap was nothing every lap, so I was just pushing, and yeah, happy with another podium, and yeah, stoked.
Well done, there he is, Mike Mitch. First to be congratulated by our sponsor, Timaru Metal Recyclers, Johnny Hepburn. Well done. Oh, Al, thank you. Never giving up. Just a little too hot into John Jones Steel, and he snuck back on the inside. You thought you had it, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a wee bit rude, but...
by him?
Yeah. No, always fantastic riding with Damo, to actually catch him, stay with him, and then actually trying to find somewhere to pass him. To Mitch and Damo and Jake and everyone as well. Thanks for the awesome racing over the weekend. Bit of a hiccup from myself, missing a gear at the final shoot, and sort of had Damo, but then he got me back. So, no, pretty happy. We're slowly getting our comeback, and just awesome. Thanks again to Yamaha, and already regretting the non-racing for a couple of weeks. But we'll look forward to the North Island.
Well done, there he is, Canterbury's Al Hoogie, and a great ride there. Damon, 3 out of 3 for the South Island. Mate, that's dream material, and you've done it. You did it in the wet, you've done it in the dry, and we're only a late entry anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that was an awesome race. I had so much fun battling with Al then. I mean, there was a couple of close calls, but, you know, there was so much respect given between us two, and I knew when the gap was all of a sudden +0 going onto the last lap, he's going to have a go on this down the back chute, and you know he just missed the gear and run a little bit deep and left the door just enough for me to squeeze inside him. So yeah, I mean, it's been a perfect weekend. Obviously pole and 3 races. I've not done that before on a Superbike, so yeah, I'm absolutely wrapped, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting stuck in the North Island now.
All right, indeed. Hey, things have been set back for you in the UK, so you're now going to be in New Zealand. You're likely to be at those rounds where you thought you may not have been. What are you going to be doing over the next few weeks to get ready for Hampton and Taupo?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We're going to get back up north, and we're going to build some new bikes, and we'll have some new bikes in the North Island, and do a lot of riding and testing, and just it's good to be racing here at home when there's nothing happening on the other side of the world. And basically it's the best preparation you could ask for going into British Championship again this season. So we'll just have to hold our fingers and toes crossed that it all goes ahead. And I just can't thank the whole team, Carl Cox Motorsport, Roadkill Racing, and Honda New Zealand, everyone, my team. Talia, she's been fantastic. It's really cool to have her here at the track this weekend. So yeah, I'm absolutely wrapped, and it's been the perfect weekend. So thank you all.
Well, there you go. Brother Mitch calls him the best road racer New Zealand's ever produced, and a great season in 2020, and BSB has certainly proven part of that. Wish him all the best this year. Al Hoogie, what a star. Terrible run at his home Ruapuna, but he's fought back with courage. But here he is, the number one, not just once, but 3 times here at Levels. Let's hear it for our champion. It is Damon Rees coming at you as part of NZSBK, and your racing, courtesy of Sky Sport Next. Watch out for more great moto to come.